Hi again then guys, and welcome to a significantly simpler review compared to other updates in GT Sport, the 1.39 patch in the game, bringing the Goodwood Circuit to the game, where of course the revival is held, not the Festival of Speed though. Now, incidentally, just on a slight side point, if you are planning to go to the Festival of Speed this year, in July, I'm going to be there to meet up with some people at certain times in the day. I'm going to put out more details regarding that closer to the time basically, but I'm going on the Saturday, which is the 6th of July. That's for another time though, and this is not the Festival of Speed, of course. That's the hill climb that was in GT6. And this footage, incidentally, that you're watching here, which you can actually watch the full uncommentary version on my GT Sport community page. If you want to see the track in action, click the link for that down in the description. But as far as my thoughts, I chose to drive my favourite car in the game, the Daytona Cobra, around it because A, it's my favourite car in the game, but also B, it's appropriate. It's that kind of old school, classic, vintage race car kind of experience which this track lends itself toward. Now, I'm not typically a fan of short circuits, so that's not a good start for me. I like tracks which are really long and semi to fully technical, like the Nürburgring, Le Mans, Sierra, that kind of stuff, and some shorter ones, Laguna Seca for instance, Imola, Sebring. Those are probably my top 6 tracks overall. But as far as this circuit goes, I think that what it lacks in length, it makes up for in charm. It's a very pleasant, good-looking, nice little track, and I'm not just saying that because it's the only thing in the update. Of course I would have loved to have had cars as well, but it's not like we can go back and change that. There are no infinity stones in Gran Turismo. What you've got is what you've got. We can only hope for better updates, or at least, let's not say better, but more substantial updates in the future. Now, it's not just the circuit that was added this time. There were also some bug fixes, some physics changes, and some new career mode events and scapes. Now, I have to say, I love the 2 new scapes. I'll include those in the video. They look fantastic. I believe the redwood forests and like a mountain, snowy mountain road. I can't recall where that one was set, but you can see it on screen. But yeah, they look gorgeous. I love those 2 new scapes. As far as the career mode stuff, I don't do a huge amount of career mode racing apart from Blue Moon Bay, because I tend to just enjoy driving my cars on their own or racing in lobbies. But for those who do grind career mode or like to complete it all, there's more for you to do, of course. And as far as the physics changes, I'd be interested to hear down in the comments if you guys have experienced that. Maybe you drive a particular car or couple of cars all the time. Tell me down below, do you think that you can feel the difference? Have those physics changes made a notable change to those cars that you use a lot? Because I haven't noticed a huge difference in this Cobra. Maybe if I drove it all the time I would, but I just don't. I tend to be driving things all over the place for tuning and for reviews. So, as far as the bug fixes go, some people were not experiencing bugs with the game. Those of us who were tended to be having it very bad. I know myself, the game was taking a ridiculous amount of time to turn on. It would just be black screen for like 5 minutes before the menu finally loads. Sometimes it would not load my liveries. I could barely get on my community page at all. Notifications did not work. It was ridiculous, and I know a ton of you guys had that issue as well. They've semi-fixed that. It still takes too long compared to what it was before, but it is kind of fixed. And I do think it's disappointing at this stage as far as updates go, especially after like mid-month fixes as well, that we're still having this happen. And I know that nothing is perfect, but we're 39 updates in, and this is still happening. It's kind of disappointing, especially when Gran Turismo 6 did not have these issues. It had lobby issues with the server and the network, but it didn't have career issues like this one does. And I guess that's one of the issues with having an entire game based on having an internet connection, which is unfortunate. But as far as those fixes, it's improved for sure. Like I said, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the physics changes. The career mode changes will be cool for some people. The scapes are very cool, and I will be making use of those even. And as far as the track, of course cars would have been nice, but I like it. It's a pleasant, charming little circuit. I'm not going to do more miles here than, for instance, Le Mans or the Nürb, but I do like it. It's got charm, it's got historical significance, and it's, at the end of the day, a circuit which we've never had in Gran Turismo before. And various other games that I've played have never had it. Forza, for instance. So overall, that's it for my thoughts on this new update. Of course, we'll be looking forward to the next one to see what that is. And for those who are interested in why, for instance, this update was smaller, why there was a seemingly bigger gap between the updates, I will be touching on some of that discussion in this week's Beards and Cars on Saturday. There are a number of factors, some of which many of you guys are not aware of in the game, and I'm not just talking about what Kaz said about giving the modelers a break. That is a factor, but that's not just what I'm going to go into. There's more to it than that, so stick around for that on Saturday. But of course, stick around here on the channel for tunes and reviews, which will be featured on this track, as well as just in the game in general, and a ton of content for other games as well. But for now, as always, thanks for watching.